to go with the calzones I'm making for dinner tonight, I'm gonna whip up some marinara sauce. You gotta have marinara sauce when you have calzones. Of course, you can use the stuff in the jars, but it's just as easy just to whip up a really easy one on your own. I've got a tablespoon of oil in this pan. Gonna add a small diced onion and 3 cloves of minced garlic. I love making homemade marinara sauce. Makes me feel like I can do anything in life. All right, the onions and garlic are nice and soft, so I'm gonna throw in just a little bit of wine. Another splash. And then I'm just gonna let that cook around and reduce. It gives the marinara sauce a really great flavor. And usually when I put wine in tomato-based sauces, my husband can't detect it, so I sneak it past him. This is just a really basic marinara sauce. You can dress it up with different herbs, you can make it a little spicy, and it goes with everything. You can put it over pasta, you can make chicken parmigiana, you can use it for fried mozzarella. I'm getting hungry. Okay, the wine's all reduced, so I'm gonna add in 3 cans of crushed tomatoes. I like using crushed tomatoes because then the sauce is already smooth. I don't have to break up any chunks. And then I'll add a good amount of salt and pepper. And then because of all the tomato, I'm gonna add a good pinch of sugar. That'll just offset that acidity. Now I'm just gonna stir it around, let it simmer for about 30 minutes, and it'll be just perfect. Everyone in my family loves calzone. I make them all the time. They're super easy to make, really easy to eat, and they're the perfect hot summer evening meal. I've got a medium diced onion and I've been sauteing it. It's nice and soft. So I'm gonna add in a pound of just good old breakfast sausage. One of the things I love about calzone is you can really customize what you put inside. You could do chorizo and make like a Mexican version of calzone. A lot of times I'll use hamburger instead of sausage. If it were just me home alone, I'd probably do onions, mushrooms, peppers, and just make a veggie version. That won't fly with my house though. You gotta have meat somewhere. All right, I'm just gonna cook the sausage and crumble it up, get it totally brown. The family's still out in the hayfield, but they should be back pretty soon. And I think Cowboy Josh is coming over for dinner. Cowboy Josh is sort of like my 3rd son. Well, not exactly, my little brother. I am not old enough to be Cowboy Josh's mother. I would like to state that for the record. Let's just say he's part of the family and leave it at that. I make so much calzone in the summertime because it's such an easy thing to whip up that a lot of times I'll brown 3 or 4 pounds of sausage at once, and then I can just keep it in the fridge and pull it out as I need it. All right, the sausage is looking nice and brown, so I'm gonna add in about a half a teaspoon of Italian seasoning and a little bit of crushed red pepper for some spice. Don't ask me the difference between putting Italian seasoning in breakfast sausage and just using Italian sausage. I don't want to talk about that right now. Okay, done. Now I'm just going to remove the sausage and let it cool on a plate for about 15 minutes or so. It smells really, really good. One of the very best parts of calzone is the yummy cheese filling. It starts with 15 ounces of whole milk ricotta and a cup and a half of grated mozzarella cheese. This is a very, very cheesy filling, which means it's a very, very good filling. Now I'm gonna grate up just a half a cup of Parmesan. This always wears me out. I need to exercise more, I think. I always get winded grating cheese. I do it enough, you'd think I'd be conditioned by now. Okay, that looks like about half a cup. So we'll throw that in. All righty. And then I'm gonna crack in 2 eggs. That sort of holds the filling together, gives it a little substance. And then I'm gonna add in some salt and pepper. And I'll just stir this to combine it. The eggs will break up and mix in there. I love ricotta cheese. There is just nothing like it. Delish. And that's the difference between a calzone and a pizza pocket. A pizza pocket would just have mozzarella in it, but a calzone has ricotta. At least I think that's the difference. All right, that's nice and combined. So I'm gonna grab a little parsley. Needs a little green in there. And I'll just chop it up. And I'll throw that in. Stir it in. Parsley makes everything prettier. And then finally, I'll add in the cooled sausage. Oh boy. All right, now I'm just gonna stir it all together. Oh man, does this look good? Calzones are imminent. The family's been hauling hay all afternoon. They just called and said they're on their way to the lodge for dinner. I'm making calzones and yummy homemade marinara sauce. I cheated a little bit with the calzones and I'm using frozen unbaked dinner rolls. All right, you need some flour on the board and the rolling pin. And these take a little bit of finesse. You just want to keep turning them over, rolling them really, really thin. You need to stretch the edges, push really hard, use your muscles. And when the edges start to stick to the board a bit, then it's working. All right, this looks about the right size. So I'll grab about 3 tablespoons of filling, put it on one side of the dough, and then I'll just grab the opposite end and fold the dough over on itself. Once it's folded over, I sort of press the filling to flatten it. And then I have a fork and I just press the edges to seal the edges together. All right, once it's sealed, I've got a beaten egg and I'm just gonna brush it over the surface. This gives it a nice color, but it also makes it nice and shiny and really pretty on the outside. And the calzones do not need to be perfect. They should look a little rustic. Okay, now I'm just gonna carefully transfer it over to a parchment-lined baking sheet. Now the dinner rolls are the perfect size for the kids, but I've got a whole loaf of frozen bread dough that's been thawing, and I'm gonna break off a third of it and roll it out, and this will be more of an adult-sized calzone. I'll grab a good amount of filling, put it on one half of the dough, and then just fold it over on top of the filling. Press it to flatten the filling a bit. Use the fork. This isn't about having a lovely decorative edge. This is just about getting the calzones in the oven as fast as possible. And then I'll just brush on the egg. Now the adult calzones will go on their own pan. All right, now on to the rest of them. Now these just need to go into a 400-degree oven until they're nice and golden brown. They're gonna be so, so good. All right, now I've got to clean up and get ready for dinner. So I'm gonna pull everything together. First, I need to finish the marinara sauce. I'll add some chopped basil and chopped parsley to really bring the sauce alive. Then the sauce gets poured into little individual dipping bowls and they go down on each plate with the delicious baked calzones. And that means dinner is done. So how was hay hauling today, guys?
It was good.
Where is Josh? He said he was gonna be a little late. I'm gonna eat his calzone if he doesn't hurry up and get here.